Welcome to Marketing Hacks. Get ready for smart, strategic marketing insights delivered in small, actionable bites. Hosted by Amanda MacDonald, a seasoned marketing strategist and founder of Full Gallop Communications, Marketing Hacks is all about cutting through the noise and giving you practical, no-fluff advice to grow your business. And here's the twist. Amanda's not coming to you from a desk. She's in the saddle, riding her mare, Grace. Because just like riding, marketing is all about balance, timing, and knowing when to adjust your approach. In today's episode, Amanda gets into ways of marketing without relying on social media. If you need a break from social, this is the marketing hack for you. Let's hit the trail.
Hi, friends. It's Amanda, and it has been a very busy and very hot summer. So today we were so absolutely lucky to get a perfect day to ride outside. The arena has been freshly graded, perfect temperature out. Lynn and Moxie joined us, so we had some company. The footing's been all fluffed up, so it was just such a great ride. And right before that, we had our vets out from Genesee Valley Equine. We're so blessed to have an incredible team of this caliber 10 minutes away from our barn. So they were there doing all of the typical things they do for us. Miss Grace got a clean bill of health. So it's just such a great start to the weekend. And I've been thinking about this topic for a few days. I've kind of done some writing around it. So you may have seen it before, but I did want to talk about it here, maybe in a little bit more detail. One of the things that I'm finding for myself, and maybe you have also been experiencing this, is just when I'm on social media lately, there's just so much not great news, a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, and I need to take a break. And I realized that I need to use social media for my business, but also maybe I don't. I know it's really radical. So me and Grace are starting a little challenge for myself to really look hard at all the ways that you can build your business and stay visible without leaning on social media all the time. And there are a lot of ways to do this. So the first one I want to talk about is paid advertising, PPC ads, point per click. These can be things like Google ads, Bing ads, Meta, which shows up on social. I realize that, but you can reach a wide audience with these tools. Really get your message out. If you have a retail type business model, it's probably something that you're doing on and off. I use them for my current client base. All uses PPC ads, and they're good for a variety of things. We can tackle that in a separate chat if somebody is really interested in learning more about these and how to set them up. Let me know, and I will record something specifically around that. The second topic that somebody who's looking to take a break from social media should be thinking about is email. If you have been in business for a few years, you have a database available, hopefully, even in a basic spreadsheet that will allow you to reach out to people through an email service. If you haven't used a service before, there are lots of them out there. Check my website for a list of my favorites. I personally use Flowdesk. It's very creative. There's lots of beautiful templates. It fits my brand. It lets me change things up really quickly. And it also keeps it really personal feeling, which I appreciate. It's not a very corporate type. There are some corporate ones out there. MailChimp is one. Constant Contact's been around forever. These are all great tools because it lets you manage your list. It lets you manage your unsubscribes really easily. And you can get your metrics from that really quickly and live. So as people open your message, it gets counted. So if you're like me and you sit there and refresh it every 5 minutes while you're working on other things just to see what's happening, you will get an up-to-date real-time count. So email is something that you should be thinking about, should be using on a regular basis. Sometimes it's hard when you're super busy to come up with new topics and feel like it's fresh. I get it. The workaround there is to brainstorm a whole bunch of topics up front, and then you have a list to pick from depending on what's going on and how you feel about them. So you're not starting from absolute scratch. It's just a huge time saver. So what are the other things that I would like to talk about are in-person events. So these have come back really strong post-COVID. If you find some local groups that might benefit from what you offer, and you can get in front of them, create a presentation. If you're working in a larger market space, you might have to travel, but hopefully you've set aside some budget for conferences. Reach out to conference schedulers and get on their calendar, pitch a topic, create something that's a one sheet about you, your background, so they know that you actually know what you're talking about, and pitch some topics that you want to present to them. It makes their life super easy, and the chances of you getting picked up to speak are much, much higher. I've done this a number of times. It's really fun, especially when you're working with a new group of people. You get to network. You're already there. You get to listen to other speakers and presentations. So it's really a full day or potentially a couple of days of just deep dive into a particular market and working with people one-on-one. It's just one of those things that refreshes me like nothing else does. So I highly recommend, if you haven't done it in a while, bite the bullet, do it. It won't kill you. I promise you'll get to the end of it and realize that it was actually really fun. Videos. Do you want to talk about videos? They are alive and strong and really continue to play well for a variety of audiences because they capture attention and they allow people to choose if they want short bites of information or long formats. And both of those work really well. But if you have a longer topic that you really want to deep dive into, sometimes people just need to know the detail. And sometimes they just need the idea that it's available. So you might create 2 versions of things, like an intro video and then a longer version that you can use and post someplace else. They are worth the time doing. It does not have to be a very expensive venture. Buy a reasonable lapel mic. Set your camera or your phone up on a tripod and do a practice run and then just run through it. Podcast channels. Obviously, you're listening to a podcast, which is awesome, and I really appreciate you. So thank you. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, New York Times Podcasts, also something new on my radar. There are a lot of channels out here now. So many ways to stream information right now. Once you create your recordings, and again, does not have to be super high tech. I use a person here in Rochester that I send my files to, and he makes them sound amazing. If you're interested in reaching out to him, please let me know. It's Aaron Sawicki. He has worked in radio for many years and has a sound studio and will make you sound amazing. Once you create your recordings and you have the final file, and you have your intro and your outro, and if you're using music or whatever it is that you want to do to personalize it, use an RSS feed to push all of the new information out automatically to every channel. So typically I send it to Spotify and then it gets picked up by the other channels that I use automatically. And it's really easy. It's a huge time saver. And then you're good to go. Last but not least, PR. And PR gets lumped in with marketing. I tend to lump it in with marketing, but it's really its own area of expertise. And you can really position your brand, your personal brand, or a company as a trusted expert resource in your area or in your market. So if you're thinking about ways, typically these are things that build authority, visibility, and trust. So it might be an executive interview. It might be a white paper, depending on the market that you're in. I use white papers for some of my clients. They can be very important to engineers or people that need deeper data. Case studies, you can never go wrong with a case study. They're fantastic for so many different purposes. Award submissions, if you work in an area that has, some kind of an award every year, enter. There's usually a small fee to enter. Get it together. Get it on your radar, plan for it in your calendar. Milestone news. Obviously, if you've been following me along for a little bit, you will know that this year was my 10th anniversary of Full Gallop Communications, which I'm super proud of. And if you have additional milestone news for your company, your group, yourself, that can be a wonderful way to get out in front of people and remind them who you are and what you do. Video case studies. I have not done these, but I might start doing them because it's such an easy thing to do. You could test those out for yourself and do a handful and see how they play. Byline articles are also a really easy way to push your name out there and also position yourself as a leader in your market in terms of your knowledge base. So there's lots and lots of really creative, really fun ways of getting out there. Make some space in your calendar. Park an hour every Friday or, every other week, whatever it needs to be to, sit down, pay some attention to, what you need to create and then create it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there on this one. It was a little bit longer than usual. I really appreciate you. And if you can give this a like or a share, I would very much appreciate it. Have a great weekend. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.